One way I have tried to balance my internet time lately is to have every other day offline and every other day online. So that means on my offline days, as you have guessed, you're completely offline. You get this refresher, you don't touch a screen. Obviously you read, and if you want to use a Kindle, you can do that. But when it comes to the internet, you stay offline on the offline days. And every other day, at the same time, you have 3 hours that you are online. So if the goal is, let's say, to go down to 12 hours weekly, which is what I recommend, it's healthy. It's the average is 35 hours, so 12 hours is perfect. And what the scientists recommend, 1 hour and 47 minutes in a sense, approximately 2 hours a day. But I think it's important that you, as I've said in a previous video, that you teach your brain to be offline on the offline days. So in a previous video, I talked about how you can delegate these 12 hours to specific days throughout the week. And I call that the scheduled 12-hour model approach, where you have 12 hours and you put them on scheduled day. But in this video, I want to talk about the every other day approach. You can be offline and online every other day. And then, thus you don't have to write things down. You don't have to write down when you spent those 3 hours, for example. So that would look something like, you don't even have to remember it. Today I'm offline. Tomorrow I have 3 hours from those 12 hours that I have those 3 hours. And the day after tomorrow, I'm offline again. So every other day you're offline and online. And the good thing about this is your total media time throughout the year, if you do it like this, will be less than if you had a specific 12-hour scheduled model every week. So that means every other week will be 9 and 12 hours. And that's the beauty about this every other day approach. You have fewer total hours of media throughout the year, but at the same time, you are balanced throughout the week, every other day. And so that's how you can do it. That's one way to do it. You have the scheduled approach, in which you have delegated specific days, 12 hours to, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday maybe. 3 hours on each of those days. That I talked about that in another video. But then you have the every other day approach, in which you can just, okay, I was offline today, I can be online tomorrow, and alternate between that. Very simple, very easy. I recommend it. The third approach is a bank account approach, which is very simple and easy. I'll talk about that in another video. As always, of course, you can spend those 12 hours or 14 hours or whatever evenly throughout the week. 1 hour and 47 minutes or 2 hours per day. You can do that. That's an approach. I haven't personally used it, but I recommend that you teach your mind and your brain to be offline 24 hours at a time. So that's what the offline days are for. If you spread these 12 hours that you give yourself every week evenly, you won't have any offline days, which is why I give myself 3 hours instead of 3 hours in offline days every week instead. That gives me enough time to enjoy media thoroughly and deeply, but at the same time, I have the ability to be offline. Okay, back to the video. And also how you do it is, if you have a timer, and that's how I do it. I have a timer, and every time I'm on YouTube, and specifically watching a video, I push the timer, that's on, and every time I'm done watching the video, I push the timer again, that's off. right? So that's how you chip off the hours from those 3 hours you have delegated to that specific day. Whether that is the every other day approach or the scheduled, delegated approach for specific days. In the bank account approach is a bit different. You have 12 hours in total throughout the week that you just chip off, but I'll talk about that later. That was all for today. All I had to say. Peace. Comment, subscribe, like. I hope you like this video. I'd appreciate your feedback also. Just my daily sense on how to balance yourself in terms of media time. That's all. Peace.